Hi, this is Sam, and I come to sing you a song and tell you a story. The name of this song that I'm going to sing for you is another one that I've written. It's called "I Needed Jesus." The story I want to tell is not about why I wrote the song, but what happened after I wrote the song. I like rhythm and blues music, and one of my favorite bands, I don't know if I'd call them rhythm and blues, but it's kind of a folk rock band, is the Eagles, and I like Joe Walsh. I think is the greatest electric guitar player around, and so I just really enjoy them. And though this may not sound like the Eagles to you, and when I wrote the song, I had that in mind. I could hear it in my head. But anyway, so I was visiting a man in one of the hospitals that I go to, and when I got there, I'd never met him before, and he had been in a motorcycle accident. He was a biker guy with tattoos and all that. It was a Harley Davidson guy, and anyway, when we met, we talked, and I asked him what kind of music he liked, and he said rhythm and blues. And I'd just written this song, and I thought it was kind of rhythm and bluesy. And so I said, well, I've got this new song that I just wrote. Would you mind if I played it for you? And he said, no, go ahead. So I sang the song. And as I'm singing it, I had to close my eyes because I didn't have the lyrics memorized yet. I was still working on them. And so I just closed my eyes and sang the song. And at the end of the time I finished singing the song, I opened my eyes, and this real rough and tough guy was laying in the bed crying. And I said, I'm sorry, what's wrong? And he said, that song is my life. The first line is, I've always tried to be a good man. I've worked hard all my life. And he said, that's me. I've worked hard all my life, and I've tried to be a good guy, but I'm not. I'm always in trouble. I'm always doing stuff. He said, I'm in trouble with the law. And I said, I do stuff I shouldn't do. And he was alluding to drugs and booze and stuff. And so we talked about that, and I shared with him that all of us have fallen short of the glory of God. We've all sinned. Everybody's sinned. But the wages of sin is death. And it's not just a physical death. We're all going to die physically. But the death is a separation between us and God. And you don't want to be in that place. It's not a good place. And so I shared with him the gospel and about how the Lord had changed my life. When I met Jesus, he changed my life. And that I needed Jesus. I was writing it out of a man who had been there, who had lived what I thought was a good life, and realized that being a good guy wasn't the key. I needed to know Jesus. And it says in Romans 10:9 and 10, it says that if I'll believe in my heart, confess with my mouth that he is Lord, that he died on the cross and rose from the dead, that I will be saved. And I shared that with him, and he prayed to receive Christ right there in that hospital room. So this song touched his heart in a special way. And it may not be a great song, but it worked that instant. It worked great. The next week, I went back to visit him, and his wife smothered me with hugs and kisses and said, I have been praying for my husband for 10 years, and I knew that he was a good man, but he wouldn't let Christ break into his heart. She was obviously a Christian, and God had made me the messenger, which was a very big blessing. You know, again, when it says in Ecclesiastes that God has placed that in our heart, this longing to know eternal things. And so anyway, the song is called I Needed Jesus. I've always tried to be a good man. I've worked hard all my life, providing for my family and faithful to my wife. But there was always something missing, an emptiness inside. I needed Jesus, the good Lord by my side. I needed Jesus and the peace he could provide. I needed Jesus to tell my troubles to. I needed Jesus, and brother, so do you. In less than a heartbeat, in the twinkling of an eye, as this life be passed before you, when it comes your time to die, as you stand before the Father, oh, I know what you will cry. I needed Jesus, the good Lord by my side. I needed Jesus and the peace he could provide. I needed Jesus to tell my troubles to. I needed Jesus, and brother, so do you. Now if you're in search of purpose and a peace you cannot find, you believe there must be something, but the doubt fills your mind. You can sing the simple chorus, give your heart to God this time. Just say, I need Jesus, the good Lord by my side. I need Jesus and the peace he can provide. I need Jesus to tell my troubles to. I need Jesus, and brother, so do you. We all need Jesus. Yes, we do. Now, of course, it's a lot more than just singing a song and saying, I need Jesus. There's a part of confession, of believing it in my heart, confessing with my mouth that he is Lord, that he died on the cross and rose from the dead. That's part of a salvation prayer. I don't know if there's such a thing as a sinner's prayer. We call it a sinner's prayer. But it's the realization that you come to know it in your heart, not just in your head, but in your heart. And it's a big move that people need to make. Most people may not make it into heaven. In fact, the Bible says that most people's love for God is going to grow cold in the end times. And it seems like we're in those days. So I want to encourage you that you need to know Jesus. Now, maybe you already do, and that's wonderful. But I hope you like this. Like it on our Facebook and things, and share it with your friends. And hopefully it was an encouragement to you. Keep your eyes on Jesus. God bless you.